First question, Kevin Brockway.
Hey, Caleb. Just curious about how you're adapting and just kind of the front court battles with Malik and some of the other guys.
I think I'm coming along pretty well. Just getting adjusted to everything. Battling with those guys is definitely making me as a better player. And I just continue to learn.
Tyler Tackman.
Hey, Caleb, I hope you're doing well. As far as your ability to kind of stretch the floor in your shot and be kind of a modern forward, is that like your ability to shoot? Is that something you've always had since you were a kid? Is there someone that kind of first taught you how to shoot? Or is that something that you kind of had to develop more recently?
A little bit of both. I mean, I always could shoot a little bit, but I'm developing my shot more and more. Becoming more consistent with my three-point shot, and it's helping me along. And as you're saying, the new age forward, that's something that has to do with the two being able to shoot pretty good.
Dustin.
Caleb, along those lines, I mean, I know it's early and this stuff can only be so organized, but I mean, I remember when you were recruited, when you were committed, you said that Coach Woodson viewed you as a three. Is that how he views you at this point still? Are you, working more as a perimeter guy? Are you operating as a stretch four? I mean, to the extent to which that you're even in a position yet, how are you operating at this point?
And so he still views me as a three. During the scrimmages, I still play at the three spot. So pretty much, I'm still viewed as a three.
Jack Ankeny.
Hey, Caleb. The state of Georgia's produced a lot of top college talent that's gone to the NBA in recent years, I guess. How do you think that high-level competition has prepared you for the college game?
It prepared me pretty well. Just knowing, like, playing guys like Jabari, Scooter Henderson, just playing tough guys like that, having tough matchups, it prepared me pretty well. I feel like as myself, I'm representing Georgia as myself too in Indiana.
Kevin.
Hey, Caleb, I just kind of wanted to ask you quickly. I mean, you had your success at Georgia, and what are kind of some of your pieces of your game that you want to transfer into your freshman year and stabilize here at Indiana?
Definitely my shooting, being able to spread the floor, my versatility, being able to take the ball up, like out of rebound, going coast to coast, making plays, getting my teammates open, getting my teammates involved, just doing the things coach want me to do, just bringing what I can, giving coach what I can bring to the table.
Mike Schumann.
Yeah, hey Caleb, I'm just curious, now that you've been on campus for a month and practicing against a really high-level elite team, are there adjustments to your game that you've had to make to really kind of to make it work at this level so far?
So far, I had to adjust my defense, just being more locked in on defense, understanding the defensive principles that coach wanted me to learn, and staying more ready, locked in on defense, really on the defensive side.
Jim Coyle.
Caleb, coming in, everyone has expectations, and I'm sure you did. What were your expectations of the team? Trace Jackson Davis, you him and Race that are coming back, and all the names that you knew were going to be here. What were your expectations of where you would fit in and fighting for a starting job? How's it going?
Coming in, I expected us to have a pretty good team. I knew it was going to be competitive during practices. Fighting for the starting spot, the three spot is really competitive. I expected, so far, everything was as expected. I expected Trace to be a beast, Race be able to be a beast as well. So far, I expected everything.
Alex Bozich.
Hey, Caleb, Alex Bozich with Inside the Hall. I noticed on social media you've been spending some time off the court with Coach Marshall. What's your relationship with him, and what kind of things have you been able to do off the court? And what's your relationship like with the other freshmen? Did you know them well coming in, and how has your friendship with them grown over this last month or so?
My relationship with Coach Marshall, we've grown. We spend a lot of time together in the weight room, and we also spend a lot of time off the court. We'll go fishing. He took me to the fair one time. And we do other stuff like that. With the other freshmen, I mean, I spend majority of my day with them. We always hang out together after practice, before practice, We always kicking in the locker room, playing the game together, just doing things like that. So I think we grown. We just grown as a group of our four. We just grown as a group together.
Dustin,
I guess, Caleb, two kind of follow-ups. I mean, one, you just mentioned your defense. I just want to see if you could elaborate on where you had to get better, basically what's different, the kind of guys that you're defending and, what you had to maybe keep them in front of you, if it's more guards, if it's more forwards, like what exactly you've had to adjust to defensively. And the other thing was when I remember talking to your high school coaches when you committed, they said one thing that you were just learning how to do at that point was just one, know how good you are and know that you had, how much skill you had and how you could figuring out basically how you could impose your will, basically how you could, put that whole skill set and your size together to dominate people. And I want to just find out how you thought you progressed with that in your senior year and how you've done with that going forward.
First question, I had to learn about just basically the physicality, the speed of the game. I had to really adjust from that from going to high school to top basketball in Indiana. And for the second question, can you repeat the second question again?
Yeah, I think one thing they said is just really at the time you just didn't know how good you were. Basically, you had a skill set and you have a lot of size and maybe just didn't realize that you were getting used to just being the guy, being somebody that everyone's, just putting their scouting report around, basically, but also knowing, that you have a lot of size and a lot of skill and you can, basically dominate people and sort of learning what all you were capable of. I mean, how do you think you basically learned how to use all the weapons you have offensively?
Basically, I'm still learning how good I am. I think I still got a lot of potential for me to reach. My coach did have a good point. A lot of these game plans are scattered around me. So I try to use that and just do the best I can do with it. I feel like the more I work out with these guys, the more I play with these guys, unlocking my full potential more and more every day. So I think that's helping me with that.
Mike Schumann,
Yeah, just I guess taking a step back, just college life in general, a month on campus what have been the big adjustments for you, just living away from home and, that sort of stuff?
It's been a big adjustment. I went to regular high school. This is like the longest I've been not being at home. But I think I'm adjusting pretty well. I wake up every day, work out, be in the gym majority of the day, go back home, go to sleep, just come back the next day ready to work out.
Tyler,
Yeah, Caleb, you mentioned Jabari Smith, and obviously he just got drafted, but do you have any favorite memories or moments that stick out either playing with or against him?
I was cool with rivalries. So when we used to go against his school, those would be good memories. I worked out with him a couple of times, so those pretty good memories too.
Jim Coyle,
Caleb, coming in as a freshman as well, there's the adjustment, and you've talked about that a lot, but also the learning. The guys that are already here know what Coach Woodson is looking for. How difficult is it being one of the new guys that doesn't know everything on offense and defense when everyone else does?
It is pretty difficult just coming in, not knowing as much, but I can't say my older teammates help me out, give me a little pointers. Like every time I would make a mistake, would just tell me beforehand what to do, how to do it. So they helped me out big time with that, but it is pretty difficult coming in, not knowing what to expect.
Jack Ankeny,
Caleb, you mentioned Coach Marshall a bit earlier. I guess how much have you already seen improvements just for yourself personally in your time working with him?
So far, I've seen pretty good improvement. So far, I've gained 15 pounds. I went from 200 to 215 so far. And I feel like I'm getting stronger in the weight room. So I think I'm progressing well.
last question, Alex Bozich.
Caleb, you mentioned earlier you spend the most time, I guess, with your fellow freshmen. I'm curious if one by one you could just tell me your impressions in terms of the games of CJ, Jalen, and Malik.
Start off with CJ. CJ, he's a good player. He's like a really good shooter, so I know I can count on him to knock the shot down. Jalen, he's a good point guard, good facilitator. He's also a good leader. He's already showing good leadership skills. I mean, Malik, he's just a beast overall. He's really good at attacking the basket, getting his teammates involved, stuff like that. So I think we all four fit in together. We all four real tight.
All right, Caleb, thanks. We'll head, CJ, if you want to go up, we'll get you